Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. I'm very fluey and I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. New Year's you had a good crossover. While I hope you were not listening to Cozy FM, because what was that? If you were, sorry. With that said, welcome to today's video, and I just want to discuss something very quickly to wrap up this Bafana Mahungela thing before it goes to trial. First of all, yes, we are all aware that he didn't get bail, but the one question that I'm now seeing that is being asked is, why was he not charged with murder of the unborn child? Simple reason. Murder is defined as intentional killing of a human being. It is intentional killing of a human being. That's why if you unintentionally kill a person, you're not charged with murder. You are charged with culpable homicide, which is equivalent to manslaughter in America. Anyways, that's not the case here. Reason why he was not charged with murder is because before a child is born alive, they are not referred to as humans in our South African law, hence the reason for the act of choice of termination of pregnancy, all of those things like that. So in order for one to be charged of murder, there has to be a human being. And in this case of unfortunately, whether you believe that or not, in this case there is no actual human being. So if the only thing that could happen if you happen to murder or to kill an unborn child, you would be charged. If the person who was carrying the child is not harmed, you would be charged by does not die, you would be charged by assault, attempted murder, all of those things. Which brings me to discussing the case of S versus Mshumpa, which is the case that actually explains the issue of unborn children and their murder, and why they are actually not murdered if they die in an incident. So here, it's a very interesting case, I must say. It's an old case actually, because I read or first heard of it when I was in third year in specific offenses. It was specific offenses where we were discussing the offense of murder and how actually killing an unborn child is not murder, because law of persons also defines who is a person and who is not. So that's a different story of us discussing the mysterious fiction. That's a whole different story, but let's discuss this case before I lose my train of thought more. So, Mshumpa was hired by Mr. Best. Mr. Best is the father to a child of a certain Miss, I forgot her name. If I do go back to the case, I'll put her name here. She was with child of Mr. Best. So Mr. Best and this person went on to go check ingane, and the child was actually healthy, according to the scan and the doctor's report on the day. Then they were allegedly hijacked, and this person who hijacked them shot the pregnant lady on the stomach, killing the child. But obviously the woman was not killed. So it turns out this person was hired by Mr. Best, who's the father of the child, to come and actually terminate this child, which is just wild. Like, men just have always been at it. Anyways, so that's where the case was. And then, so it was now a question in court of whether should they be charged with murder of the child or not. The court found that it's impossible to find them. It would now have to mean, forgive my nails, like they've grown out. It's almost 4 weeks now. It would mean now changing legislation, firstly from changing the definition of murder according to legislation, and also changing the definition of a person So it required so much, and because obviously courts are not in a position of changing that, they made the decision to say, actually no, you cannot charge Mr. Mshumpa and convict them of the crime of murder, because they didn't kill the child. They obviously assaulted and almost killed the mother of the child. So those are the charges that they faced with, the robbery, all of those things. And Mr. Best himself was also charged because he was part of it, as it turned out, in evidence that actually we were hired by this guy to kill his child. We don't know why we are now being made the bad people. So yeah, in a nutshell, Bafana cannot be charged for the crime of murder to the child, but he obviously is charged for umama, and whatever other charges that is faced are legit in a sense. Obviously they still need to prove them, but that of the unborn child cannot suffice, because an unborn child is an unborn child. It is a fetus of which we do not recognize as a person in South Africa. In order for you to be recognized as a human, you have to be born alive. And in order for one to kill a person, to be charged for the crime of murder, they have to have actually had their intention of killing a human, of which that's not the case in this issue of Bafana. I hope you guys can hear me. My voice is really bad. Anyways, with that said, thank you so much for watching. I will see you sometime soon, and we'll discuss how we're gonna go about this year, and I wish you all the best the coming year. Love you lots, and bye.